Drugs? Not in my neighborhood. So what we'll do is we'll get that white down just like this one was. I like it where it's kind of patchy. Okay, so that's looking kind of cool. It's kind of weird, whatever. You don't have to use a Posca pen. You can draw it in. So here's an old trick. Hey guys, today let's take a motorcycle helmet that I did before. I'm gonna scuff this real quick. We're gonna reshoot it in black and let's go have some fun with the squirt bottles and make this thing look old. Do some Harley logos or maybe the number 1 on it. Had some subscribers asking about doing helmets and tanks, so let's get on that stuff too. All right, guys, let's get to it. You can get shot out of a cannon wearing this. All right, guys, and here's just 2 quick things I'm gonna show you. This is just a cheap turntable from Amazon for like $11. It's just got some cheap ball bearings in it. But if you're doing, you know, DJ skill saw, if you need something to put a helmet on or a die-cast car or whatever you're painting, or you know, cylinder, whatever, these are cool. They make powered ones that are amazing too. This is like I said, I think, I don't know, 10 bucks or something like that. This is just some leftover scrap. This is a hollow steel ball that you can get from like any wrought iron shop for like 4 bucks. It's just welded to the table leg. I made a table. I like making like Jetsons style tables, you know, like Art Deco atomic stuff. So cut that on the plasma a while back and had some extra legs. This is just like a random welder test plate. We used to cut plates for all of our weld tests back in the day. Anyways, that looks like it could be something that we don't want to talk about. But that's not what it is. It is for holding helmets or whatever. or whatever. But what's cool is once you tape your front off, you can kind of move this thing around however you like, you know what I mean? So I love to pass off useless information to people because I'm just full of it. I might not know what I'm talking about all the time, but hey, every once in a while, sometimes you make some weird stuff that looks like other stuff, but it works. All right, stop rambling. Let me get to sanding this real quick. I'll get it down and we'll get some black on it and then we'll start from there. We'll go from there. We'll go backwards with it. We're gonna go black, tan, squirt bottle, do some lines, maybe bust out the Posca pens, and then we'll do that, I think we'll do the big number 1 Harley, number 1 on each side or something like that. Cool. All right, let's get to it. All right, I can't be in the shop wearing flippy flops. I've already stubbed my toe twice. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Won't you be my neighbor? Drugs? Not in my neighborhood. All right, let's get some 4011. Let's get some white. Let's get some yellow. Let's get some red. What else? Let's get some black. Let's get them all. Let's get them all. Oh, and Posca pens. Okay, let's go. So funny, when I was on the TV show, we had like, you know, you had to be careful with product placement because the way networks work is, you know, you can't have a tool or a part or some paint or something in the background without them, like, the company paying money to promote their product. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. It's terrible. The networks make a lot of money on this stuff. So wouldn't that be amazing to get sponsored by Monster Energy? I'm just saying. Gasoline. Okay, 400 grit, time lapse. Coming to a theater near you. Right into my drink. All right, a couple more pieces of useless, or maybe useful, information. Okay, remember what we were talking about? Get off there. Go ahead and, if you are going to be using your turntable, Mixmaster Mike, make sure you try to keep it up high. You know what I mean? Like I could probably eventually just take an old hub off of a car and make this thing spin. But what I'm getting at is if you're not exactly right down on the bottom line, when you go to spray this, you could possibly bounce off this and spray up on that and get a dry patch or a light patch all the way around. So if that's the look you're going for, because this is like a patina style old looking helmet, cool. But just, I shoot them up high like that so I can tilt it and I can get along that edge. So, you know what I'm saying? So more useless information. A couple more things, like with, this is opaque black. Opaque black and opaque white. There's two things about these guys. Don't forget, there's more pigment. It's like these are thicker. They just always seem to, you almost have to over reduce it. So if you're shooting, ooh, this one's new. If you're shooting, they always blow up my face because it's 197,000 degrees in here now. Like the detail black shoots a little thinner, but it's also kind of more translucent. The opaque blacks, you know what, we need more than that. And the whites, I kind of reduce them a little bit more. You know, the more you're playing with it, you'll see. And that's in an airbrush. I don't necessarily mean it in some of the bigger guns. I'm using a Iwata LPH 80 right now. So I've got the opaque black, number 5211. They make a bunch of different blacks. I'm just gonna do a little reducer here. Not much, 10% or so. And then one other piece of useless info. This right here, just gonna show you guys real quick. This guy, okay? If you're painting indoors, you're sitting at your desk, this guy right here, grab an airbrush. So see that spout right there? Boop, boop. You take your airbrush and you put it in the hole. Be careful what you're putting in holes. Anyways, so what it does is it catches the fumes and the overspray. So a lot of times you see us airbrush guys, we go to set our airbrush up and do the, you know, we're testing it. We see if the pressure feels good on our hand, if it's not splattering. Because if you get too much paint on the end of your tip, you can splatter it. So what you do is you can spray it full blast in there. So once I get going, we'll do that. Yeah, painting. See, look at the little things that entertain me. I'm gonna turn the air back on though. I'm dying. Put in the comments where you guys are all from. I love hearing where you guys are from. Vegas is where I'm at right now. Born and raised here. Don't like it here. Probably going to leave. Might run down and see my buddy Francis that I went to motorcycle school with, and we maybe will terrorize Florida. So what we'll do is we'll get that white down just like this one was, if you guys saw this video, and then we'll use some of these orange colors. But we're not gonna go so as intense as this is, just a little bit here and there, and then we'll do some soft sanding over it and we'll come back and add some of the blacks. Okay, so what I was saying before our camera rudely just recorded us in a time lapse, what I was doing was taking a razor blade, taking our tape, and cutting some little blank spots every once in a while. So when we spray our white on here, it's gonna show through that. You know, you can do it on a car too. I love these sand scratches. This is like perfect to make this thing look old. Okay, I'm probably not even gonna measure where the center is, cause we'll just try that. Is that close? Let's take, we're gonna utilize that line right now and cheat as a center line. And we're gonna, our tape works for us. We're gonna go straight down, stop. We're gonna go straight down the middle of this giant marble head. Okay. Does that look yeah? Yeah. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? No. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He talks too much. I know. I'm just trying to learn. Stop talking so much. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these two, I'm gonna overlap that one slightly, just slightly. We're making a big marble head. Hey, in the comments, let me know, you guys that ride bikes, motorcycles, dirt bikes, Harleys, sport bikes, supermoto, speedway, drag bike, whatever you do. I feel like that's crooked, but my eyes are crooked, if you didn't notice. Yeah, let me know in the comments what kind of bikes you guys ride, what you guys are into. Love hearing about other motorcyclists out there. It's crazy in the car world, because I'm both. A lot of people don't like one or the other, but enough of that. Let's take, all I was doing was using that as a center line. I'm gonna pull the center right back out of it. All we did is use that 3/4 inch for a reference point. Get rid of our other little piece of poo-poo. Okay, bye. Now, let's take and blow the edges out of this one real quick, okay? What we'll do, and you can tear it too, but what I'm gonna do is, let's see, because that's gonna be white, black. Let's take and, since we know those are our black lines, let's say that that would have been back in the day, like hand painted, with a brush like this, right over the top of it. So that's the one we'll chip out, is this one, okay? So we'll take and we'll just cut us some little edges and blow those out. Speaking of motorcycles, I need to get me another one. It's just around here, Vegas, dude, you'll get, for anybody that is living here or California that rides motorcycles, you guys know, dude, people are nuts, man. They'll come in your lane, they'll push you off the road. I mean, I get it if you're acting like a knucklehead, but don't use your car to run somebody off the road with your bike, or with their, if you're on your bike, jeez. Gotta share the road, man. Sharing is caring. Okay, and I think what I'm gonna do is we'll dead end that stripe. We don't wanna carry it in, so we'll just cut right over the top of that line, and we'll just dead end that stripe right there. So that's all gonna be black. So another cool thing I guess we could do is we could come up in this corner over here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to reach around. And get these corners. You could also just hand paint it like this. You don't have to mask it off. Sometimes the masking's cool though, because it leaves, or it could pull some of the other paint off. Now I'm not even gonna push these down because, well, I don't know. Do we want the blowouts? Because then it might look like an airbrush. All right, you talked me into it. So we pushed the tape down because we didn't want any of the white really getting under there just yet, okay? Just a couple more. All right. Did you guys ever get to see the episode we did on Vegas Rat Rods called Two Stroke? I think it was. We built that 2-stroke Detroit diesel. That was super cool. Merlin come up with some really amazing stuff, and they did a lot of stuff to that, but all of us did, got to go ride our old vintage dirt bikes in the video for the TV show, and that was a blast. I had an old 78 Suzuki RM400, that 2-stroke, just like our truck. That was really cool, man. It was fun to ride. Sold it not too long ago. I like a lot of the vintage bikes too. I've had Huskies, Bull Tacos, some of the cool stuff. So yeah, you guys Write down in the comments. I love hearing who's got old bikes, who rides, who grew up racing or grew up, you know, just terrorizing the desert, or quads. Our buddy Edgar, he's in Cali. He's a big quad guy, two-stroke quad guy, Banshee guy too. So quad guys too, man. All right, enough babbling. Let's get to some white. Okay, I've got the Wicked Opaque Titan Buff. But like if you had a white and a brown, you can do the same thing. This just has a little bit of a off-white, almost similar to an eggshell. Like here's regular white. There's a little bit of like the old house color white, right? And then I have a little bit of the Wicked Opaque brown oxide. So we're just gonna put a little in there and tint it. Tinting. And then a little bit of 4011, just a little, be careful, not a lot. I don't want a lot in there. All right, let's see. A little more. We want a little more of, it's almost like a cream color. I guess you could think of like Harley and their cream colors. Yeah, there we go. So, there's a little bit better, right? Okay, I think we're gonna spray, well actually, you know what? Let me reduce it a little more, sorry. Just because I'm thinking, I don't know if I want, I don't want those tape lines to look too thick, because we're gonna spray over that tape. Are you serious? Telling you, man. That's why all my clothes, I don't have any, I can't even go out with any, I don't even have any nice clothes to go out with because of this, because I make a mess. I'm always in a hurry. Okay, let's see, let's get you dialed in, let's see. Man, it still is like humid. We're gonna use our we're gonna use our LS400. Another Iwata, amazing product. Thank you, Iwata, you're the best. Where did you, oh, it's right here, So see, and I didn't even bomb that heavy. That's just kind of light. You can almost see some of the black through it. So what I was gonna do was, here in a minute, I'm gonna get some orange. But one thing we can do ahead of time is, if you want, you can kind of break through some of that tan. Just a little bit here and there. You can actually break all the way through to the black if you want to. This is 800 grit with an interface pad. So I'm just creating a couple kind of dingy spots. We can even go along our stripe a little bit. And we'll get all this dust that's falling off right now. We'll get this out of here in just a second. Just kind of breaking it down. All right, so let's clean this off, get our dust out of our way. All right, and another thing I want to do is where we did those paint blowouts, I'm going to cover those back up so it leaves the white or tan exposed underneath that. If not, that red's going to get in, or sorry, the orange is going to get in there. So what we'll do is we'll just take some of our thin mask, go over that and just cover that. Right where those blowouts were. Okay, over the shoulder shooting. Ooh, and that's a bright orange. So let's start hazing in some orange. Sorry for the sirens. It's every 5 minutes in Vegas. Some stupid something's going on around here. This place is a war zone. Can't wait to get out of here. Vegas has changed so much. If any of you guys remember the old Vegas, it's not that anymore. It's one big corporate greed. Imagine that. Okay, so here's where the blue, the tape line's out, like we were talking about. So that's okay. I don't care, because I'm going to sand a little bit of that. But so there's some of the sand through marks. There's some of my dirty fingers. Right there's some of the sand through. But now we've got a good start that we can go ahead and soft sand some of this right now before we grab our squirt bottle and throw some colors on it. Which this is a pretty cool color right here. This was similar to their cream color back then. Okay, so I still got my 800. I'm gonna hit that little spot where I think I bumped it with my hand. I had some paint on my hand because I don't want the oils getting on it. Okay, right now I'm just gonna do a really soft kind of scuff across there. You know, and there's so much stuff you could keep messing with these edges if you want to. So here's the thing, this looks really cool the way it is. We could just add some dark shadows to it. But I know some of you wanted to see what you could do with the squirt bottle. So what we'll do is we'll clean up a spot on the table. I've got plastic down. Make sure you got your plastic down. And let's get some of that orange to fade a little bit. I like that, a little bit of a fade. Because we're about to put a little bit more orange back on it. I think I'm gonna take the burnt sienna and I'll tone it down. How did you do this? How? Get in there like you were. Yeah, because I don't want to take away from some of that tan. So I might do a couple bangers on it as far as some heavy ones, like right here. Let's do that. Let's do a little bit heavier one right through here. Get a little bit more of that black to come through. You know what I mean? Do a little down here. Always in the front. We always throw our helmets down, they land on the lid, the front of it. So let's get some more. Wear it down, man. Wear it down. Ooh, look, dust. Looks like something else. Okay, all right. I like this just like this. I'd like to just fade some colors in it, but let's do the squirt bottle thingy, okay? Just so you guys can see it on kind of a round surface, because it will just beep. So I'm just gonna get some water on there first. Got our horse blanket down. I think we won't go like too crazy with it. Well, you know, I say that like in every video. I always say that. And the reason why I usually wet the helmet down first is just that way, or whatever we're doing, is that way there's not a dry patch somewhere in the system, and it's gonna dry too fast. So I'm gonna go really soft, right down that orange line, and kind of keep an eye on it for a second. We'll tilt it. Let's get a little over there. Because be careful, you can turn this like really yellow real quick. Sorry, I'm moving around. Ooh, orangey. One time I was at a bike run in Laughlin, and there was like a gang of dudes that had Hondas, right? Like Honda Rebels or something. I don't remember what it was. They kind of look like Harleys, but I'm walking past them, right? And it was like, I was out taking pictures and stuff. And I walk past it and I'm reading real close and it says HARLIDAYSUN. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson. So then I get to meet the guys that are in the gang, and there were some guys that were over from Asia that were taking a trip, but they had a whole club over there in, I think it was in Japan. So I thought that was cool. Harley Davidson, very cool. I say we need a little more over here. What do you guys say? I think you agree with me. Oh, so subtle. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, we could turn the air pressure down a little bit too. Let's get our orange out of there. I do have the air pressure down quite a bit right now on our California compressor. So let's just come in here and we're gonna kind of dirty it up. There's where let's dirty up where the snaps go back in. And do a little fade, See where I scratched it earlier? That's kind of cool. Actually, we should put some scratches in this too. So I'm just doing a really, really light dirt, even though it's just black. And I've got the air turned down quite a bit, so it's more like, it's coming out almost like speckles. You can get a little dirt in that orange stripe. Down here in the bottom, we could, the back would probably be a little dirty back here, so we can catch those corners a little bit. See, and the cool thing is you can come back with even Scotch-Brite. Use like the gray Scotch-Brite that's, sorry for the compressor. Plus this paint's a little thick, so it's perfect for what we're doing. You could come back with Scotch-Brite, just make sure it's the fine grit that's equal to like a 400. Now remember what we were saying where those sand-throughs were? Same thing. You could just kind of slightly darken it up. So it looks like you sanded more, but you didn't. And you could kind of extend it out like it got banged up. Harvey Mushman. Do you guys remember who Harvey Mushman is? For you old guys that liked the movie On Any Sunday. Yeah, and any of you guys that used to ride back in the day, do you guys remember another movie called Take It to the Limit? Ooh, what a great movie. Not too many of the old motorcycle movies that were like that. Dust to Glory, that's another great one. Brittown, another good movie with the no-gooders. Dirty bird, dirty bird. All right, let's go make some logos real quick. What do you guys think? Okay, we're back and it is just miserable hot. Miserable. All right, so what I've got is I've got a Harley Davidson logo, or the words on the back here. It's not exactly perfectly straight, but who cares? We're having fun. So I thought maybe what we'll do instead of, well, actually, let me spray this with black. We're gonna have to outline a little bit of it. So I got a little bit of black left in the airbrush. And I might wanna add the Motor Company down at the bottom, Motor Coat. I couldn't find a shield that I like, but I'll go look on the computer in a minute and we'll do some, we'll look some more. All right, so the more I'm sitting here playing with it, I'm like, hold on, hold. Maybe the orange would look a little cooler. So I've got some of the opaque orange and I mixed a little bit of white in it because I want to kind of thicken it up a little bit. But as we're doing this, so I need a towel. As we're doing this, that we could brush on, get some orange fade. There's one dude out there I just wanted to say, give a shout out to, and that is Mr. Mike Metzger. It's good to see him mountain biking again. Dude still rides and rips motocross. You guys remember him from the Crusty Demons days. Prior to that, he helped start all of the freestyle that you guys see nowadays. You know what I mean? Jumping fountains, doing things. Anyways, he paints helmets as well. Got the pleasure of running into him in St. George when we both briefly used to live there. And I think he's back in Cali now, and I'm back in Las Vegas. So St. George didn't really work for us, Utah. So I just wanted to say, good deal, dude. It's good to see you out there killing it again, man. We're never too old, man. And Mike's been through some stuff, been through some crashes, you know what I mean? Like, dude just dusts off and gets back up, man. So, anyways, happy painting, Mike. And if you're in California, check him out. Maybe he'll paint your helmet for you. Okay, so this is not as dark as I want, but I'll get the camera closer. See the difference now, what I was saying before in some of the other videos is since it's so thin, you know, and you don't have to use this, you could use, now you could use like a one shot or something, an enamel or whatever. But one thing about the airbrush paints are sometimes it's hard to hand brush them because they're thin, but you can add stuff to them to make them thicker if you'd like. Okay, I'm just getting a little bit of some faded nothingness in here. I'm gonna clean the black out of the airbrush, and then what we'll do is we'll take that same orange we put on the stripe, and we'll just highlight a little bit of that before we take the masking off, okay? It's hard to see the letters. Okay, so I was gonna add the Motor Company to the bottom of it, but you know what? No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I see some overspray, and I keep talking to you guys about some of this, what happens with the overspray, and I'll show you right here when I get this masking off what I'm talking about, and I'm glad it did it. That way you guys can see a mistake. Gotta show your mistakes too, man. You guys might even be already able to see it. Look right there. That's where the air is on, and that black just covered over there, so it's okay. It's okay, because guess what? We have this. You can even take 4011 and slightly wipe it back down and knock it right back off if you don't want that. If you don't want that fade. Okay, stop. It was windy, so you can see where that fade was. Okay, so now we can take a black Posca pen and go around the edges kinda, or a cream color, or a red, or a different color orange. You guys see that strategic product placement back here? We used to do that on the TV show too. I used to get in trouble. They'd be like, turn the labels around, and then they'd walk away and I'd go for create text. That way people could see it in the background, you know. Or port 15. I'm using my little engine over here as a stand. But I got that matte clear from them, and we're gonna put it on some stuff so you guys can see how cool that is and how bulletproof it is, that you can paint it right over rust and seal in your car, your hot rod, your rat rod, whatever you want to do. All right, you know what we might do? We might go sit down at the desk, because this is sometimes hard to do standing up. It's like tattooing, standing up. Speaking of tattooing, Mike Metzger does tattoos too. Go get a tattoo and get your helmet painted. Get your dome painted and tattooed. All right, we're gonna take our 800, and all I'm doing is just grazing the top of that. Because what it'll help you do is, like, when you go to do your clear coat, if you're gonna use a satin, matte, whatever, it just helps get those edges off real quick, so you don't have, you know, you don't feel it. You won't feel the logo sticking up. Sorry, I could not stand up and draw like that anymore. Can't do it, man. And you don't have to use a Posca pen. You could draw it in with fine line paintbrush. Or when you make your stencil, use 2 layers and airbrush your black in first or last, and do your orange or whatever color you want. All right, so I'm taking the pen and I'm just doing like some little dots every once in a while. Dirt dots. Dirt dot. Dirt dot. Ding. And then I was thinking we wanted to do some scratches, because we could come back with the airbrush. But I'm gonna put some scratches in it over where we had soft sanded that in a couple little spots. All right, so I've got a little bit of the burnt sienna in the airbrush that we used with the squirt bottle. And I'm just gonna go around these letters a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We get a little dirty haze up here. Should we try to go around that with a red? Let's do that. I'll do it off camera. I don't know if it's even gonna work out, but I'll do it, and then I'll show you guys real quick, because it, you know, takes a minute to do it, so. Okay, so I put the red on it and I immediately hated it and wiped it right back off. Could do a yellow too. Let's see if this even stands out. It might not even stand out, but right here, I feel like it needs something to break that up. This might look absolutely terrible. Won't be the first time I've screwed something up. Let's see. What if we do it in one, like a, try not to get into that black too much. And just maybe get it to stand out just a little. Just a little. Plus, you guys didn't want to see my ugly mug anyways. So that's starting, so we're starting to outline it with the, what color is this, by the way? I don't even know, man. Apricot. So, ooh, careful. So you can go over it a couple times if you want it to be darker. So that's what we'll do. We'll just kind of outline it. I wish I had the smaller pen to show you. It's a little sharper, you know what I mean? Okay, it's so hot that that probably should be dry in just a few minutes. Then we can go over it with our smaller black pen. And now I'll just do some of this off camera because you probably like, you don't want to watch somebody outline something. And then we're gonna go back in and we'll cut one or two more stencils. I'll show you a real quick, fast way. Hopefully we can speed this up because I know these take a minute. All right, so something you could do too, if you don't have a plotter. And this one, it's not that easy to do all the time, but here, let me print this. Just print. I don't even know what size it is. And we may not do this on the helmet because we're running out of time and I'm getting weak. Need to eat. But what I want to show you is, okay, that would be just like if we took and did a plotter. The difference is one's a sticker, one isn't. So if you made a couple of these, right? Let's go ahead and print it again. All right, we'll do over the shoulder. So here's an old trick that a lot of airbrush people use as well. And what you can do is, like, say if you're doing skulls, you're doing whatever, you can take and let's go ahead and make our negative. I would use a ruler. I'm just in a hurry, so I'm not gonna. And yes, this is just copy paper and a printer. Now doing the Harley Davidson, that's probably gonna be a little hard because it's tiny. But if you wanted to take the time to do this, and you do it with tape too, that masking tape that we have, you could draw this right over that masking tape and actually make your own stencil sticker. Did we get all the way through? Get out. One more. And this isn't perfect, but there you go. So here's another thing you could do with this. Boom, get you some spray adhesive, okay? Doesn't have to be this particular brand. And what you can do is, you'll soon learn that helmets are not fun to do because of a round surface. So you can kind of help oval it, you can V-cut this, whatever. And then if you wanted to do these ones, you could take, and we're gonna put a little bit of the adhesive on it, just a little, not a lot, because you don't want it like destroying your, you don't want it getting stuck to what you're doing, because it's not a permanent thing. This, you're just basically making your own sticker stencil thingy, you know what I mean? So for fun, let's go do that. You could also just keep going. The reason why I cut 3 of them out is so you can do one that's just the stars. Just cut the stars out. Then you can do one that's just the stripes. So what you would be doing is, you know, you lay down your white, then you would come back and lay down your red, and then if you wanted to put blue down in the Harley, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so we've got our copy paper. That's all it is. Just make sure when you're using your adhesive, don't spray it on. You don't need to spray it on the project. All right, let's get the right side. I'm just gonna lightly haze it. Let it tack up a little bit. Get that exercise in, whatever you need to do. It's a little sticky. I probably didn't even need that much. It's so humid, man. What the heck? What's going on in this planet? Stop cloud seeding in Vegas. Stop it. Stop. All right, so let's take our helmet. Take our number 1. Let's put it like, let's just put it like right here. Let's just put it right here. Just be careful because you're on a round surface. Like I was saying, you guys will soon find out. Round surfaces are not fun. That landed right on the rivet. So it's probably gonna get a little color under there because it's lifted up. I'm telling you, these microphones, I gotta get different mics. These are nice, but so see how quick that was, and that was just a piece of copy paper. Copy that. It's that uncomfortable silence. I can never keep my mouth shut. I talk too much. Now, that's gonna dry in a second. It's dry. Should we put some Createx Satin Clear on it? I think so. So let's let this dry. Let's go. Okay guys, thank you for joining me today on our quick little Harley helmet tutorial. And please subscribe, that helps so much, and like the video. Thank you guys if you find this stuff interesting and helpful. Check out some of the other videos in the playlist for some other cool tricks. But anyways, let's get outside, take a look at it inside and outside. It's got a satin clear on it, so let's go check it out.
Of a jagged fight, the void whispers calling tonight. Shadows creep, they swallow the ground. I stand alone, no savior around. Down the abyss, scream in the black. No turning forward, no crawling back. Darkness wants me and pulls me down, but I'll tear it apart. I'll wear the crown. I'll wear the crown.
Won't you be my neighbor?